In this session we're going to be using The Owl Who Was Afraid of the Dark to investigate some non-fiction texts, and in this lesson we're going to try and answer the question of what are the features of non-chronological reports. So let's start by reminding ourselves about what we already know about our story. So firstly, can you remember what kind of owl is Plop? Exactly, Plop is a barn owl. And do you know of any other species of owls? Maybe you heard of one in the story itself. Now, over the next few sessions, we're going to be learning to plan and write a non-chronological report about barn owls like Plop. So do you know what a non-chronological report is? Pause the video and have a little think and come back when you're ready to share your answer. A non-chronological report is a non-fiction report that is not written in time order. So a non-chronological report focuses on one particular topic and gives facts about that topic. And we're going to have a look at a non-chronological report, and you'll find a copy of this on the website as well. And when you're looking at it, I want you to be thinking about these questions. What do you think the report is about? What features can you see in this report? And finally, how has the report been organised? So when you look at our report on tawny owls, you're going to be thinking about those three questions. So what is this report about and how do you know? What features can you spot when you look at this report? And finally, how has the report been organised? Now you can either pause the video and use it on the screen, or you can download the version from the website to help you. Then come and join me when we're ready to look through the different features of this text. So now we're going to look through the text and identify these features and think about why the writer has actually included them. So firstly, we can see the heading, in this case, tawny owls. And the reason for this is because a non-chronological report needs a large, eye-catching heading so that people know exactly what this report is about. We then move on to our subheadings. You can see these circled in red. And you'll notice that each paragraph of our non-chronological report has a subheading, and these tell us what each of those individual paragraphs is going to be about. And in the green you can see those paragraphs that we're talking about. And this is how we organise our non-chronological reports, with each of these paragraphs focusing on a different aspect of the subject we're looking at. Sometimes you'll notice on a non-chronological report images like the two that you can see in pink. And these images could be something like a photograph, illustration, or a label diagram to show pictures of the subject and help you to understand the topic a little bit more. And underneath those images you'll notice there's captions, which I've circled in blue. You'll notice how each of the images included in this non-chronological report has a caption, and these help explain what is actually being shown and makes it a little bit more clear to the reader. And our final feature is the Did You Know box, which includes bullet points. And this is another example that isn't always used in non-chronological reports, but you can have boxes with interesting facts or some additional information which doesn't necessarily link with what you've written so far. And these are organised into a bullet pointed list, which makes it quick and easy for the reader to read. Another feature of non-chronological reports is the language it uses. A non-chronological report uses factual formal language. So what you're trying to do with this is provide the reader with information, not your opinions on things. So here we can see two sentences, both about the same topic. Tawny owls can rotate their heads 270 degrees so they can see all the way round. And our second sentence is, I think tawny owls are really cool because they can swivel their heads all the way round. So thinking about those two sentences and what we said about the idea that non-chronological reports include factual formal language that show our reader key information, not opinions. Which of these sentences would you think you'd find in a non-chronological report, and why? So think about what we've just looked at, pause the video, have a little think, and come back when you're ready. So of course it's the very first sentence which is most appropriate for our non-chronological report. If we look at it, it's a fact. Tawny owls can rotate their heads exactly 270 degrees, and the reason why, so they can see all around, whereas the second one begins with my opinion, I think something. So when we're thinking about our non-chronological reports, we want to be factual, we want to be formal, we want to show that we're an expert and we're just going to share facts with our readers. So now we're going to look at our independent work before we set you loose to complete that. And with our independent work, you've got a choice of two texts. This one's about badgers, and here you can see our slightly more wordy non-chronological report on hedgehogs. And your task is going to be to find each of the features that we've just looked at and colour each one in according to the key. So you're going to want to have a copy of this text in front of you, and you're going to be looking to identify the heading of this particular non-chronological report, the subheadings that are being used with it. You're going to be able to use green to show me those paragraphs that are being included in this text. You're going to be spotting the images in them, any captions that we might include, and of course any additional information that's being included using our bullet points. And hopefully by the end you'll have something that looks a little bit like what you can see on the screen. So choose whether you'd like to find out about hedgehogs or badgers, and then you can begin your work. Good luck, and I look forward to seeing your annotated texts.